Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina, with her USA t shirt on. Now, Karina's from Venezuela, beautiful Venezuela, and we are in the panhandle of Florida doing this live stream for you to answer your questions on how to process K1 visas and green cards. The 2 year green card, the 10-year green card, how do you fill out the paperwork? How do you do this? How do you do that? That's why I am here. Karina, come closer. Muy cerca, mi amor, por favor. We hope everybody had a happy Independence Day and celebrated with lots of fireworks safely, had lots of hot dogs and hamburgers and hopefully some steaks to celebrate the United States' 250th birthday, independence from Great Britain, and we're soon going to celebrate Colombia's independence from Spain and Venezuela's independence from Spain. South America also has Independence Days. So we celebrate those in the Ross household. Now, we hope everybody is doing well out there in green card land and not sweating or stressing the process. Remember also, I do not give you any legal advice because I am not an immigration attorney, thank goodness, and I don't work for USCIS. You don't need an immigration attorney to file for a K1 visa or a 2 year or a 10-year green card. Really, the only time you need an immigration attorney is if you have to sue President Trump because he's blocking your green card, or if you have to review a criminal record that you had in the past and you want to make sure you qualify for the K1 visa. If you don't qualify for the K1 visa, then there's no point in filing because it's going to get denied right away in the service center, right? So make sure you qualify. If you don't make enough money, that's okay. You can get a joint sponsor. Find somebody to help you. Remember, the objective is to bring your fiance to America, get married, live a happy life together. And if you need a joint sponsor, tell the joint sponsor it's only temporary. You only need the person temporarily because pretty soon you're going to become a two-person income household, right? And then your income is going to double. And then you won't need a joint sponsor anymore because your income is going to be more than sufficient. So if you're having issues with joint sponsors, if they're hemming and hawing, they're saying, "Oh, I don't know if I want to help you," if they're just buy them a box of Kleenex and tell them it's only temporary, even though they're signing an 864, okay, for the 2 year green card. If at that point, but even that's going to be temporary because your beneficiary is going to be a U.S. citizen in 3 years. So basically, you want to sell the joint sponsorship to your joint sponsor friend and say it's only temporary. Please don't panic. It's not a permanent thing. Right? There you go. It's not difficult. I have to teach you some salesmanship, right? I was sold Mercedes-Benz for 17 years and Lincolns and BMWs. And now I'm doing YouTube channel for you guys. So if you have any questions, ask me the question. Look, we have JC Para. JC Para, hi Diego. And now JC Para is a member of this channel, so you get an automatic lemonade salute for being a member. Members of the channel get to call me, text me, email me. Hi Diego and Karina, salute us from Fort Lauderdale, South Florida, beautiful Fort Lauderdale. This is Juan Carlos Para. Our packet was received at USCIS and looks like they withdrew the money. And got an update that our file is in progress. Well, that is a Mountain Dew salute right there. Even though I don't drink Mountain Dew anymore because it's got such high sugar content. Not that it's a bad thing, but it is for me. I got too many birthdays. So when you get to be a certain age, your blood doesn't seem to like sugar too much. JC Para 05, thank you for your help. We're glad to help you. We want to see you get everything done and without paying all this crazy money to immigration attorneys. Now, I'm not saying immigration attorneys do a bad job. For the most part, they do a good job. But some do a bad job, some do a good job, but you don't need them. If you hire an immigration attorney, immigration is going to be in contact with the immigration attorney, not with you, the sponsor. If you file a K1 visa package through an immigration attorney or through one of these, private businesses, then if there's an issue with your case, if there's a problem, if there's an RFE, if there's a request for further evidence, it's going to go to the immigration attorney and or the company you hired, and you may not know about it for maybe a week later. I don't know. You need to be in control right here, and you got your beneficiary in your hand right here. You need to take control of your green card K-1 visa application. You, Mr. American Citizen Sponsor. Nobody else. You control the process. You help your beneficiary. You give her or him moral support while you're separated from each other. Okay? And don't put your K-1 visa into the hands of somebody else. Make sure you why would you want to give all your information to some private company out there that processes K-1 visas when you can do this yourself? If you join as a member to this channel, then I will help you with it also. And you can call me if you've got a question. You can call me. And you don't have to share private information with me. You can tell me what you need help with. I can even go over your paperwork for you, blank out stuff you don't want me to see. But I've been doing this for 13 years. I've been processing K-1 visas, green cards for 13 years. 13 years is a long time. And also spousal visas, if you need help with the spousal visa. You can do this. How many pages are there on the form I-129F, the K-1 visa application? What is it, 12, 13 pages, right? And then when you go to lift the conditions off of your 2-year green card for a 10-year green card, don't be surprised if it takes about 2 years to get through this process right now with the Trump administration slowing everything down to a dead stop. Federal judges are having to step in from Rhode Island, from Ohio, to tell Trump to process freaking green cards. Even those countries, the 39 countries that he put on a pause, which was in violation of the Immigration and Nationality Act. He had no authority to do that. Federal judge overturned all that crap. Okay, so guys, just be patient. We're working now on getting those 75 countries that are on a block for those folks who are trying to bring their husbands and wives to the United States from overseas, who are on that list of 75 countries. The Immigration and Nationality Act does not say people from this country are going to be put on a pause indefinitely. That's not what it says. It says you will be adjudicated at the consular office, yes or no. That's what it says. Jeff Mantalk, 5483. My wife is getting ready to file her I-751, but she is worried because she got a ticket for passing a stop school bus. Does she need to be worried? Well, here's the thing with this, okay? Number one, pay the ticket. Number two, don't do it again. And number three, did she got a ticket, right? So did the police officer fine her? How much was the fine? $200, something like that. It's going to show up in a biometrics. So she's getting ready to file her I-751. When she files it, she'll have biometrics, and possibly it will show up in the biometrics as on her police record, passing a school bus. So she may be having to, when she goes to her green card interview, she's just going to have to explain it. Bring the ticket with you to the green card interview. She'll make it through the biometrics. I doubt very much it's going to hit her record that quick. So go ahead and file for the green card, file the I-751, and include in the paperwork a copy of the ticket and an explanation as to what happened. She got fined $100 and her license was suspended for 10 days. Woo, that's pretty harsh. Well, then she's just going to, go ahead and when you file for the 10-year green card, include that, go get the court record on that and include it in the application, because they're going to ask you about it. Will it stop her from getting her green card? No, she'll get her green card. If she does it a second time, will it be a problem? Big problem if she does it twice. So you may want to sit down with your wife and explain to her, you don't pass school buses when they're trying to offload children, because you're going to put children's lives at risk. That's the reason for the suspension on the license. What state do you all live in? Where do you live? What state do you live in? Don't tell me what city. I'm just curious to know what state you live in. Is it New York or California? Indiana? Indiana. That was a pretty harsh fine. But I don't worry about it. You'll be okay. Just don't do it again. Now, immigration will be concerned with you if you injure somebody, if you're in an accident, if you're driving on the highway, you get into an accident. Man, I got allergies. And you injure somebody, that will be a problem for your green card. But she didn't injure anybody, and she paid the price, but she must include that. Go to the courthouse and get those court records on what happened and include it in the application. So you're not trying to hide it. Don't try to hide what happened, okay? It's not going to be a problem. It will be a problem if you try to hide it, and it will be a problem if she does it again. If she does it twice, that's going to be an issue. Okay? So you're going to have to sit her down and explain to her not to do that. She probably was she in a big hurry? Why would she do that? She was in a hurry. She had to go somewhere in a big hurry, or she didn't know it was a school bus. She didn't realize that the big red sign was stopping her from passing. She may not have noticed. Maybe she needs to write an explanation, go to the courthouse, get the court records, and explain what happened. And then you should be okay. JC Para. Diego, quick question about the 10-year green card. How long does it generally take to get biometrics scheduled? About 4 weeks after you receive notice that they have received the package. And what are those where are those biometric centers for our K1 visa? We went to a local DMV. What's going to happen is you're going to file for the 10-year green card, JC Para. Then about a week or maybe 2 weeks, if you include Form G1145, you'll get a notification. Oh, you've done all that already, right? You got notified already because they took the money out of your checking account. So in about 4 weeks from now, you're going to have biometrics. You're going to get a letter from immigration telling you where to go, what day, and what time. Don't be late for the biometrics. People are getting their green cards denied because they forgot to go to their biometrics. In the past, if you forgot to go to your biometrics, or you just forgot to go, you would get a second chance. Okay, don't do that again. But now, under this administration, if you don't go to biometrics, your green card will be denied and you'll be getting ready to go in front of an immigration judge. Different times. Jeff Mantalk. Yes, we already put the ticket in the package, as well as the receipt that was paid, that we paid the fine. Very good. Then you got it covered. You're good. Nobody was injured, right? Nobody got hurt. No children were injured. It's just one of those things that happened, and just make sure it doesn't happen again. Because the second time around, okay, immigration will not give you any mercy. Under this administration, there's no mercy. Okay? Any excuse to deny a green card is what we're working with right now. Any excuse. If you fill out your 864 incorrectly, you don't file for the 2-year green card correctly, it's an excuse to deny your green card. Maru, hello Diego and Karina. Maru, you got your packet 3, packet 4 email, right? Now, a lemonade salute to Maru and JC Para, the members of the channel. Members of the channel get lemonade salutes today. Good job, Maru. You got your packet 3, packet 4 email from the consulate in Cameroon. Yeah, you sent me a text message because you have my cell number. As a member of the channel, you have my cell number. You sent me a text message, and that's great news. What's going to happen now is things are going to move pretty quick. Okay, so you got to start reading the instructions in the packet 3, packet 4 email. Read the instructions carefully. Very good. You're working on the Department of State Form 160. Very good. Good job. Now you can sign for your fiance in Cameroon. You can fill out the DS-160 and you can submit it to the embassy, or it's a consulate in Cameroon. You can submit it and you can sign and set for him electronically, but you must say that you helped him fill out the paperwork, okay? Jeff Mantalk, no one was hurt. I think she learned her lesson. Yeah. It's, things happen, but when it involves school buses, okay, the police are very strict and they get a little, more, what's the word I'm thinking of? Aggressive. If you pass school buses when you're supposed to stop, that puts children's lives in jeopardy. And it could be, immigration will definitely have a problem with it if she does it a second time. Nobody was hurt. You got a ticket. She paid the ticket. You notified immigration in the packet. You're good. Maru, okay, I will do just that. Yeah, you can fill out the DS-160, Maru, and you're going to sign his name electronically on the DS-160. Then you're going to submit it to the consulate, and then it's good for 12 months. You understand? Well, it will be good until September 30th. Let me think here. September immigration uses a fiscal year. It's good for one fiscal year. I'll have to investigate how long the DS-160 is good for. I know it's one fiscal year. We're in July right now. The fiscal year ends on September 30th. So I'll investigate and see how long it's good for, the DS-160, and I'll let you know. I think you're good. Let me see here. So Jeff Mantalk, yes, it's a really big deal here in Indiana. The fine could have been a lot more, and she could have lost her license for 180 days. So they gave her a break. Okay. 10-day suspension, first offense, new person in the country, trying to get used to the rules of the road in the United States. So they gave her a break, but don't do it a second time. Maru, okay, thank you very much. Yeah, you're good, Maru. You can, get the I-134. Start working on getting that together. Start filling out the I-134, the Declaration of Financial Support. Get your tax transcripts and tax returns together. Okay? You're going to go to Cameroon, right? You're going to go see him when you get everything scheduled. When you get the visa interview scheduled in the consulate in Cameroon, you're going to go fly out there. Let's see. J.C. Parrott, does my wife need to wait until the biometrics in order to travel to Colombia? J.C. Parrott, why would you want to travel to Colombia? Isn't she in the United States waiting now for her 10-year green card? She shouldn't be going anywhere. She should be going to Walmart, and that's the furthest she should be going to Walmart. That's as furthest that she should be going anywhere. Right? JC, right? You applied for the 10-year green card. In about 3 weeks, you'll get the letter of extension, a 48-month extension letter. So her 2-year green card will be extended for up to 4 years. Why is she going to plan a trip to Colombia? Don't you have Zoom or WhatsApp on your phone? Can't you do a Zoom call? Hello, everybody. It's me. I'm here. Maru. Well, okay, I will do that as well, getting my tax information together. Very good. Maru, I'm going to walk you through it, okay, for the visa interview in Cameroon. I'm going to walk you through it step by step. The Real Brownie. Hey, you joined back as a member. Okay, the Real Brownie has rejoined our group as a member. Hello again, Brown. You get a lemonade salute. Now, Real Brownie, welcome back as a member. We're glad to see you rejoined. And Brownie, you're from England, right, originally, but now you are living happily in the United States of America, learning how to drive on the correct side of the road. In England, they drive on the wrong side of the road, and they have all these freaking roundabouts, right? They got roundabouts. They don't understand. I mean, it's insane. The roundabouts. I was on vacation in England in 1996. The roundabouts drove me up the wall. Let me see. Chopper Harley, no extension letter after 90 days of receipt. 3 months have passed. You should have got the extension letter after at least 4 weeks to 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks, you should have got the extension letter. I would send an inquiry to whoever it is you sent the green card application to. Send an inquiry. Have your congressman contact the service center, the place where your green card went. Have your congressman contact him. You got, start putting some pressure on him from Congress or your senator. The real brownie. Yes, we moved to Tennessee in 2 weeks. Very good. Tennessee. Don't forget when you get to Tennessee to change your Missouri driver's license. You're in Missouri, right? Aren't you in Missouri? Change it into a driver's license from Tennessee. Very important you do that. Maru, I was planning on going to the visa interview in Cameroon, depending on the interview schedule. Very good. Depending on your work schedule, the interview schedule, etc. Okay, no problem. You can pay the consular fee, Maru, with your credit card. The only time I recommend paying any visa fee is the consular fee with a credit card. Every other immigration benefit should be paid directly from your checking or savings account using Form G. What was it, 1650? The real brownie. Oh, wait a second. JC Para. That's correct. We are waiting for the 10-year green card. Okay. Just a general timeline on how long she needs to wait. No plans to travel. Okay, good. No travel plans. Very good. Until this is all resolved, just wanted to know so I can tell her. Colombia, President Trump and his team put Colombia as a blocked country for processing immigrant visas. So if you are married to a Colombian, or the Trump administration is blocking the green card adjudication, but he's being sued in federal court, so that's going to get overturned because it violates the Immigration and Nationality Act. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is going to find out the hard way that you cannot do that. But don't travel to Colombia right now because she may not be able to get back in the United States. Let's see. The real brownie. We have the AR-11 and the 865 printed off. Okay, that's the address change forms already. Good. And we will change the licenses the first week once we have our proof of address. Very good. Yeah, it's great. Tennessee is a great place to live. You'll love it there. Jeff Mantok. Diego, have heard back from USCIS about your wife's green card application. Yeah, my wife, she applied for her 10-year green card and she got a letter of extension. She has a 4-year letter of extension. So Karina's 2-year green card now expires in June of 2030. June of 2030 is when her green card expires. So we got plenty of time to wait out this Trump administration, wait out the lawsuits that are already flying across his table because he's violating all kinds of immigration rules in regards to the Congress putting this immigration process in place. Now, I'm not bashing President Trump, okay? I don't have an issue. I'm not bashing President Trump because, honestly, I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing when it comes to immigration. He just sees a problem and he says, let's fix it this way with a big Band-Aid. But that's not how the republic functions, okay? A constitutional republic functions through congressional law. And now he's beginning to figure out that the block he put on my beautiful wife's two-year green card has been overturned by a federal judge in Ohio and in Rhode Island. So 2 judges already tossed it away, saying you can't do that. And Trump is getting frustrated because in his mindset, he thinks he's protecting the country. When in fact, what he's doing is he's messing around. He's jacking around with American citizens' families. Somebody with a green card is related some way and somehow to an American citizen. Okay, Now, Karina, she was vetted to come to the United States. Karina was investigated by Interpol, the Colombian security police, the Venezuelan police, and the FBI twice because she went to 2 biometrics appointments. Her first biometrics in New Orleans was March of 2024. And then in June of 2024, she had her second biometrics appointment. So she's fully vetted. They have fully investigated Karina to the max. And when we filed for Karina's 10-year green card, I included the police certificates from Colombia, Venezuela, and Interpol. Karina even had to get a character reference from the president of Colombia because she lived in Colombia for 6 years. She had her character reference letter. You know, I mean, you don't start throwing all the apples out of the barrel because of a few bad ones. You follow the immigration process that was put in place by the Congress. And the Congress of the United States says you will be adjudicated through the proper channels. And if you qualify for the green card, you will get it. And if you don't, you won't. That's how it works. One person in the White House cannot just blanketly tell immigration, stop processing green cards for this country or countries. Can't do that. Immigration judges are going to have a field day. They're already making lots of money from that. Immigration attorneys, I should say, not judges. The federal judges are having a field day. The federal judge from Rhode Island that threw out Trump's ridiculous block on visas or green card adjudications was appointed by Obama. The federal judge that threw out his ridiculous, insane block on green card adjudications for 39 countries, well, the second guy from Ohio was appointed by President Clinton. So we have a trend here of Democrats or federal judges appointed by Democrats who are overturning all this crap that Trump is trying to throw out there. Where are the Republican appointed federal judges? Why are they not doing the same thing? The Republicans either want to lose the midterm elections in November, or they just don't give a crap about anybody who's in this country legally. People in this country with green cards from 39 countries, maybe someone's been in the country for 20 years, and they're filing for they have to renew their 10-year green card. And all of a sudden they get told they're on a block or a hold. How insane is that? It's not going to happen. That person is going to get that green card as long as they haven't committed any felonies or criminal offenses, etc. So Jeff says, what, Diego, have you heard back from USCIS about your wife's green card? She got her letter of extension in the mail, 48 months. So her 2-year green card expired on June 26th, or a couple of weeks ago, right? But she's on a 48-month extension letter. President Trump will not be president of the United States in January of 2029. It will be a new president. And then that new president, whoever that person is going to be choosing a new director of Homeland Security, an administrator for USCIS. Depending on which way it goes, depending on how bad Republicans want to maintain control of the House or the Senate or the White House, they best stop jacking around with American citizens' families because they're married to people from foreign countries. They're going to learn a hard lesson. You know, the American people didn't vote Trump into office to harass green card holders. The American people voted Trump into office to deport illegal immigrants who came in our country without permission. Right? That's what he was elected to do. Remove people out of this country who are in here illegally. They haven't been vetted by the police. We don't know what their criminal history is. We don't know what their medical history is. We don't know if they're working or if they're living off the taxpayers of America. Those are the people Trump needs to concentrate on kicking out of the country. Not my beautiful wife from Venezuela, who has been properly vetted by every police force on the freaking planet. And she has a college degree. Maybe I'll get her into classes for her real estate license. Maybe we'll get her. Maybe I'll investigate that. See if I can find a real estate class where she can get her real estate license. She can start selling freaking houses. Something to do. Keep her busy, right? Plus her other jobs. There you go. But the real Brownie, thanks for another to all our members. We appreciate you guys. JC Power, the real Brownie, Maru. Thank you for being members, guys. It's so much easier for me to help you as a member because you can text me if you have a question. You can call me, text me, email me. I can respond to you within an hour, maybe quicker, right away, most of the time. The real Brownie, we appreciate you. Well, we're glad, Brownie, that you're in America. We're glad you're here. And start concentrating on becoming a U.S. citizen. That once you become a U.S. citizen, then you don't have to worry about immigration anymore. The real Brownie, I'm starting to learn Spanish as well. Okay. My wife's family is originally from Guatemala. Beautiful place. Guatemala. So it would be nice to communicate with them in their native tongue. Very good. So your wife's family is from Central America. Now, I've been to Honduras. I've been to Belize. I've been to Central America, Panama. It's very nice down. It's nice weather down there. I tell you, I can't stand cold weather. We live in Florida because we like warm weather. You know, I couldn't live up north. It's just too darn cold. I remember I lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico for 4 years, but the winter times were pretty harsh. Snow in the mountains was pretty rough, but the summers were fantastic. And I like Nevada. Karina, I've taken Karina to Nevada twice now. Took her to Arizona, California, Utah. She liked Utah. She thought Utah was St. George's, Utah. She thought was a real nice town. We stopped there for what? We had Subway sandwiches in St. George's, Utah. You know, it was a good vacation. Now I'm planning on our next vacation for next year. I don't know where we're going to go. Maybe fly to New York because she wants to check out New York City. But we prefer Las Vegas. We like going to Las Vegas. Not to gamble because we don't, but because it's just a fun place to walk around. They have great steak restaurants there. Jeff Mantalk, is it true that my wife for 3 years from the issue date of her green card can apply for U.S. citizenship? That's exactly right. You are 100% correct, Jeff. 100%. But you got to make sure you tell your wife not to have any more traffic infractions because that will come up at her U.S. citizenship interview. Even the one that happened is going to come up. So you need to bring those. You got to keep those court records, copies of them, and bring them. When she applies for U.S. citizenship, she needs to bring those court records with her to her U.S. citizenship interview and lay them on the desk and say, I had an oopsie. Okay. To become a U.S. citizen, you got to have 3 years without any issues. I'm talking serious issues like DUI, felony stuff. That is not a felony that she did. What happened isn't a felony. Okay, it's a traffic infraction. But please remind her to concentrate on becoming a U.S. citizen now, and don't get in trouble anymore. The real Brownie, that sounds nice. I'd love to visit New York City. Just to say I've been there. Yeah, New York's a pretty great. It's a nice place to visit. I wouldn't want to live there because in the wintertime it's pretty harsh and the taxes are crazy, and the rent on an apartment in New York City is like unbelievably high. But it's a great place. If you go to New York City. Now, I was in Staten Island. I lived in Staten Island, and then I moved to Florida in 1982. I've been to New York City maybe 4 or 5 times. New York. If you go to New York City, you want to go to the Empire State Building on 34th Street. Go up the Empire State Building. You want to go to the USS Intrepid Museum. There's a space shuttle museum in New York on Pier 80, I think, or Pier 84. Okay, you want to go to Central Park. And check that out. You can go to the Dakota Building. There's a lot of things you can do. The food is good. But from in New York City, you can take a day trip to Washington, D.C. You can go. I'll take Karina to New York City for a vacation. I'll take her from New York. I'm going to take her to Washington, D.C. one day, and then I'll take her to Boston on another day, because it's very close to Boston and very close to Washington, D.C. So you can knock out a bunch of stuff and then still carry on with your vacation in New York City. The real brownie. The test is harder now, though, for U.S. citizenship. Right, 128 questions over 100, and got to answer 12 out of 20 instead of 6 out of 10. Well, you just study harder. Study harder and memorize the 128 questions instead of 100 questions. When Karina goes to be a U.S. citizen, they're going to ask her, who is your congressman? What's his name or her name? Who is your U.S. senator? How many U.S. senators are there in the United States? Well, there are 50, right? 2 per state. 100, excuse me. So there's 2 U.S. senators per state. There's 50 states, so 2 times 50 is 100. So if you get the question, how many senators are there? You're going to say 100. What's the name of your senator? Well, in Florida, Senator Rick Scott is one, and we have another senator, a female, and off the top of my head, I can't remember her name because she replaced Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio was our senator. He became Secretary of State. This lady replaced her. I can't remember her name, but I need to know that. But Senator Rick Scott would be a good answer to that question. Lena Earl, good night to all. What's going on, Lena? How are you? I was in New York City 2 weeks ago. Okay. Think I'll, let me see. To visit family, 4 minutes walk to Times Square. There, great. That's great. Times Square is a busy place, okay? And from Times Square, you can go, I think you can go south and go to the World Trade Center Memorial. Go south from Times Square. Walk is about a 35-minute walk south, 45-minute walk. And you can take a boat over to Ellis Island and to the Statue of Liberty. Or from Times Square, you can walk north uptown, and that's Central Park, right? And then from Times Square, it's a 20-minute walk to the 34th Street, go up to the top of the Empire State Building. The real brownie, yeah, I think I'll be okay. It's definitely going to be harder for non-native speakers, I think. Yes. Yeah, Karina, though, she's in English class. She's in right now. She's off for July. July's a vacation, right? Mm-hmm. July is no class for English, and she's off on vacation this month. So she'll start classes up again in August. But she's doing good with English. Lena Earl, I'm good, and you guys, we're good, Lena. Everything's great. Karina bought me this from in Las Vegas. It's like an alien. Look at that. It's an alien. I don't know if you can see. In whatever that in some kind of liquid, and it says Las Vegas right there, Las Vegas Boulevard. That's pretty cool, right? And then she bought me this little alien keychain. Look at that. How cool. And when we were in Colombia, right? We were in Colombia. We were buying souvenirs like crazy. We bought this in Rakira. Look at that. This is near what? Near Villa de Leyva? Mm-hmm. Yes, close to Villa de Leyva. Let's see here. The real brownie. I wish you and Karina the best. You guys are awesome. Well, Karina's doing well with her English. We appreciate the compliments. She's doing good. When Karina's English is really up to par, then we'll know she's ready for I'm not worried about her learning. I'm not worried about her passing the civics test for the U.S. citizenship. You know, it's just the English language skills that she has to improve upon. Let's see. Lena Earl. Okay, update. I got a call from USCIS advising they couldn't reach my fiance to tell him to make social media page public. And it updated to yesterday, but was still in refuse. So what you need to do is contact him, your fiance, and tell him to make his freaking social media public so immigration can see it. And then he needs to contact, it's going to stay in refusal. He already had his interview, right? The interview was done, right? As of today, it changed from immigrant visa to non-immigrant visa, and case received. Now it says application received. Yeah, you're good. Don't worry about that. But you need to get in touch with him and tell him to open up his Facebook account or Instagram account to public so the immigration can look. They're going to review it. Okay? When Karina gets ready for her 10-year green card interview, they're going to look through her Instagram account from day one, when she opened up her Instagram account, to when they go to the interview. That's going to probably take, a good, I don't know, half a day. Those aliens are funny, and yes, he said it was already public. Very good. That's good. That's good. Now, when I was in Colombia, I had a Facebook account with Karina. Our status was engaged to each other. Karina lost her password to her Facebook account, and I deleted my Facebook account when I got to the United States because I don't need Facebook. The only time I used Facebook was when I was in Colombia, and I was posting pictures of us together doing stuff with family, friends, etc., posting videos. That's the only reason I used it, was so, and everything was public. So immigration and the whole planet Earth could see what I was doing in Colombia for 3 years. But honestly, I am not interested in Facebook. I am not interested in Instagram. I couldn't care less about X. I really don't care. What do people post on Facebook? What they had for freaking dinner? They got a new car, grandma's birthday. I mean, to me, that stuff doesn't need to be out there in the open. If you got a new car, that's your business. Don't put it on a public Facebook account. That's ridiculous, right? Lena, he only has Facebook. He's not a SM person. I'm not a social media person. In fact, I'm not a social person. Karina's like, Diego, you don't hang out with anybody. I don't hang out with anybody. Karina's the one with all the friends. I just got to put up with them, right? No, I'm kidding. She's looking at me. She's going to kick me under the table. Facebook is a waste of time. It's just another window of opportunity for the U.S. government to look at what you're doing. I remember growing up, I didn't have internet. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have a cell phone. My phone, when I got my first cell phone that I ever got, I was in the Navy. And I was told I had to have a cell phone because I was in my job, in what I did in the Navy. So I had to have it. That's how I got introduced to cell phones. I got introduced to the internet when I was on a military base in Italy, in Sicily. I was on a military base in Sicily, and they got this new thing on the base called it the internet. I'm like, oh, whoa, let me check this out. So the first time I saw the internet was in Sicily, Italy, back in the 90s. First time I got a cell phone was in 1999, 2000, when I was in New Mexico with the military. And I got a Facebook account. I think the first time was, I'm trying to remember, 2013. I can't remember. But to me, it was ridiculous. I opened up the Facebook account, and I never used it. Then I met Karina in Bogota, and I said, hey, I now I've got Facebook. I can post stuff on Facebook with us together, and it timestamps it for us. Facebook does a good job of timestamping pictures when you post them. The location, because they're GPSing you with the satellites. Meta, the company, has these satellites up in space. They can track you. So when I brought the cell phone to Bogota, Colombia, when I flew across the international date line, I guess, whatever it is, I don't know. When I left the United States, my cell phone told me that I was no longer in the United States. When I landed in Bogota, my cell phone changed the time to Bogota time and told me I was in Colombia. How in the hell did my phone know I was in Colombia? Because it's not private. It's public. It's public. The government is tracking you on your iPhones and your Androids. And they love it if you got Facebook, because then they can see everything you're doing. So I got rid of Facebook. I never used it. I did in Colombia, but not here. What am I going to do? Take a picture of my freaking lunch? Hey, look at this. Here's my lunch. Everybody hit a like. Now, I really enjoy doing YouTube. This is social media because I'm helping somebody. I'm helping you guys, right? This is accomplishing something. This YouTube channel is accomplishing something. It's helping you get through this process. And it's, it could be also a place for you to come hang out and just chit chat and offload some steam sometimes if you get angry at whatever. The real brownie, Facebook is just for people to feed you propaganda. Never liked it. Yeah, it's propaganda. You got these little groups of people, especially those immigration groups, those K1 visa groups. You got the Facebook K1 visa groupies posting stuff that's not true, scaring the living daylights out of everybody, right? Stay off Facebook, guys. Don't go in there. Don't go into those groups of immigration groups, because most of it is not true. Well, yeah, everybody's green card, everybody with a green card has to go back to their home country or whatever. If you want to know what's going on with immigration, you come hang out with Diego and Karina, and we will give you the real answer. Whether you like the answer or not, I don't know, but we'll give you the honest answer as to what's happening. If you are in this country and you are applying for a 2-year green card and you are from one of those block countries, 75 block countries, your green card is going to be adjudicated. Federal judges from Rhode Island and Ohio have told immigration adjudicate green cards. Doesn't matter what country people are from, right? It's insane. And the real brownie is right. Facebook is just for people to feed you propaganda. It's all it is. What has anybody learned from Facebook other than it's just boring as heck? What did Elon Musk say about Facebook? It's stupid. He wasn't trying to promote X. He didn't even have X then. Elon Musk has done good. Elon Musk was a green card holder. He was born in South Africa. He moved to Canada. Then he came to the United States as a student on an F1 student visa, I believe. Got his physics degree, and then applied for legal permanent residency. Under the Trump administration, he would have already been kicked out of the country probably and sent back to South Africa or Canada. He wouldn't be a trillionaire running SpaceX and X and Tesla. Do you see how insane it is for the Trump administration to go after green card holders because they're from a country he doesn't like? Marco Rubio's mom and dad came to the United States from communist Cuba. They escaped from communism. Trump is deporting people from Cubans in Miami back to Cuba after they tried to escape from that place because they're conservatives. He's deporting the very people in the future that the Republican Party needs. If Trump was president when Marco Rubio's parents came to the United States, Marco Rubio would be living in communist Cuba right now with no AC, no water, nothing, just poverty. That's what communism is. It's just poverty. I'm not bashing Trump, but I'm just pointing out facts. President Trump's wife, our First Lady, Melania, is from Slovakia, a full-blown communist country in the past. In order for her to get her green card to come to the United States, she had to be thoroughly vetted and not be a communist. But the same is true for people from Cuba and from Venezuela, right? No difference. The vetting's the same. Hypocritical. But like I said, elections have consequences, and President Trump has done a lot of good things for our country. I'm not bashing him. I mean, he's done a lot of good things. So in regards to that, he gets an A plus. But going after green card holders is absolutely insane. You know, preventing a doctor from getting her doctorate license, whatever, an eye doctor because she's from Venezuela. I mean, it's ridiculous. But a federal judge, like I said, federal judges have overturned this stuff. These federal judges from Ohio and from Rhode Island are saving people's green cards. And most of these people are conservatives. The people he's saving are conservative. When they become citizens, they're probably going to become Republicans. I mean, it's just my opinion. I'm not saying that's true, but that's the way I look at it. And yet Trump's trying to kick them out of the country or give them a headache and slow down the process. All I can say is I'm glad we have elections every 4 years for president. Right? Thomas, FPCNL. Good evening, sir. My dad is sir. I'm Diego. The letter was about my work permit. Work permit. I was trying to figure out what it was for. I applied November 2024 saying that I transferred it to California for fast processing. I already have the green card. Yeah, it's a waste of money applying for a work permit. Okay? You get to the United States, everybody wants to apply for the work permit. How much is that? $265? And then they apply for the green card. Right? But most people are getting their green cards before they get their work permits. Or they get like Karina, when we applied for Karina's work permit, she got it. And then 2.5-3 weeks later, she got her green card. So her work permit was only really useful for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And the only reason we applied for it was because it was free. Back then, it didn't cost me a freaking dime for the work permit. Now you got to pay $260. I think it's $265. My recommendation is this: apply for your 2-year green card, adjust your status. Do not apply for the work permit. Put that $265 into better use. Take your new husband or wife out to dinner somewhere. Go to Texas Roadhouse. Go get some steaks. Use the money with your family. Don't give it to immigration because they're going to cash it. They're going to take the money from your checking account and they're going to say, thank you very much. And then you're going to get your green card and they're going to take that money. So the money you spent on the work permit is going to be thrown away. Just my opinion. So that was for the work permit. Well, Thomas, I did explain to you not to worry about the letter, right? Because you got your green card. I told you not to worry. It was probably something silly. And it was something silly. So you're good to go. Okay, guys, do you have any questions for me? I've been rambling on for 55 minutes almost. Excuse me, I just sneezed all over Karina. Excuse me. You like my Xeon shirt? Xeon Canyon. Karina bought this for me. Where is it? Right here. She bought this for me in a touristy souvenir shop in Utah. We had a great time. We loved going to Utah. We drove from Las Vegas to Santa Monica. We drove from Las Vegas to Utah, and we drove to the Hoover Dam. We went to the Hoover Dam. We went to Lake Mead, and we took pictures, and we printed the pictures on the printer here, and we kept on collecting the evidence for Karina when we go to her 10-year green card interview, which is no doubt going to be in about a year, maybe a year and a half from now. But you got to keep on collecting the evidence. You can't just stop collecting the evidence. Every time we get a bill come into the house, I print it right here. Both our names are on the bills. Tax returns. You must file joint tax returns together. Once you get to America, you get married, you get a social security number, you got to file joint tax returns. Immigration is going to want to see them at the 10-year green card level and for U.S. citizenship. When you file for your 10-year green card, you want to have at least 2 years worth of tax returns filed together as a husband and wife. When you apply for U.S. citizenship, you want to have at least 3 tax returns to bring to the citizenship interview. plus the tax transcripts, the W-2s, and or 1099s. Okay? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to log off now. It's almost 7 p.m. Central Time, and today is July 8th, 2026. I'll come back. What's today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Today's Wednesday. I'll be back on Saturday for another live stream. If you are a member of this channel, please send me a text message. If you have a question, don't wait for the live stream. Send me a text message if you have an urgent question. And if you call me, if I don't pick up the phone right away, it's because I'm doing something. All right. But I will definitely get back to you if you call me. And if you want to join as a member down here somewhere, you can join as a member. Whoever joins as a member, Karina will send you a free bag of coffee from Venezuela or Colombia. Okay? And Thomas, the real Brownie, thank you, Diego. Have a wonderful evening. You too, Brownie. Thomas, next year is my first tax return. Very good. Good job. And before your 10-year green card application. Thomas, you've got this. Everybody, you all can do this. Don't stress the process. Don't stress President Trump. Okay? Presidents come and go. Politicians, they should be changed often and frequently like diapers, and they're going to be in November. So if you are stressing this process because you're on that list of 75 countries being blocked, relax. You just got to wait it out because it's unconstitutional, because American citizens are entitled to due process for their family members. You see what I'm saying? It's a violation of the Constitution and the Immigration and Nationality Act. It's going to get tossed out of the window by immigration attorneys. They're just chomping on the bit. And then Trump's going to appeal, and then it's going to go to a higher court, and then the higher court's going to toss it out. Relax. You've got this. Thomas, can I use it in August for 10-year green card? Can you use what in August? Your first tax return? Yeah, you can. You have to. You have to include tax returns in your 10-year green card application. The tax transcripts, the 1040s, the W-2s, and the 1099s. Okay, guys, I will see you all again on Saturday. Have a great rest of the week.